Good morning, and here we are on the last day of the week on Friday. So, all this week we have been writing and planning a letter to a family member or friend from one of the campers at Camp Green Lake, and we have been kind of trying to reassure them that we are okay at Camp Green Lake, even if actually we're not, but we're trying to make them feel like we are okay and trying to make them feel a little bit better. And we have been doing that using informal language. So our what is the same as it has been, to use informal language and contractions and of course idioms. And why we're doing it so that we can reassure our family. So yesterday's paragraphs looked fantastic. Well done for those of you that were using extra bits like relative clauses and brackets and semicolons. That is exactly what I would like to see in our year 6 writing. If you haven't put one of those things in today, see if you can this time round. Right, let's have a little rewind and then we'll start writing. Rewind then. This is another practice stats paper. Pause the video. Which sentence is the most formal? Okay then, so hopefully you looked at the first one and you saw that it had a question tag, like a rhetorical question, which is quite conversational, and you saw it had a contraction, so you knew that was informal. The second one had a contraction and an exclamation mark, so you knew that that was informal. And the next one had a couple of contractions, so that one's informal. So the last one then, let's check it. The team were defeated due to mistakes that they made. Yep, that one is definitely the most formal. There's no contractions. It's not conversational in style. It's got words such as defeated and due, which makes us think that this is more of a formal sentence. So remember, when you are writing your letters, we are writing in an informal style because we know the person that we are writing to. So this is kind of the only time I will allow you to use exclamation marks all over the place, even if it's not an exclamation. I will allow you to use capital letters to say, this is great. I will allow you to use slang even. So this is kind of the only time that we will let you write in that really informal tone. Okay, before we start then, I want you to look at your work from yesterday and I want you to read it through, check it for any mistakes and check that it is informal. So I'm checking through mine, making sure that I've got apostrophes where there is a contraction, making sure that we've got capital letters and full stops where there should be, making sure that I've spelt things correctly. If I gave you any feedback yesterday on your portfolio, then make sure that you change it, you act on that feedback. And you don't have to purple pen it if you don't have a purple pen, but you cross it out with a ruler and you make those corrections. Once you are happy with what you've written so far, let's get started on our next paragraph. So this next paragraph is the one that I've got in pink. So we are going to write a paragraph about what camp is like with the facilities, the bedroom and the food. So this paragraph is going to be talking about the arcade games being awesome, sleeping like a log, how yummy the food is. Maybe you've camped on a campfire. So have a look at the lies that you've kind of told. So we're not going to talk about the scarcity of water. We're not going to talk about the smelly and scratchy cot. We're going to talk about how great everything is to reassure our families. I can also see that I've got an asterisk with a number 2 next to it, which tells me that on the Wednesday lesson, I did an idiom for this paragraph. So I'm going to check that idiom now. So here is the idiom. The TV is enormous. It must have cost an arm and a leg. So I've got must have, contracted, must have, and I've got cost an arm and a leg is an idiom. An arm and a leg means expensive. So this is going to be the sentence I'm going to put somewhere into this paragraph. Okay, we've got our plan, we've got our idiom, let's get writing. So I'm afraid, as ever, I'm on the shaky camera today. I do apologise. It is also quite cold in my house, so I've actually got 2 jumpers on. So apologies if you can see a slightly strange looking arm. I've had to put a fleecy jumper over the top of my normal jumper because it's so cold here today. Okay then, let's go. So this paragraph, so I'm going to leave a line and we're going to start here. Right, I'm going looking at the waggle, which again I'll put up on the screen after I've modelled this for you, and it says, next up on the grand tour is the main part of camp. Okay, I quite like that kind of sentence. It's still got a bit of, we're still linking to the paragraph above, but it's not as formal as saying secondly, comma, or after that, comma, because that's quite formal, and remember we want to be informal. Ooh. So I'm going to go for next on the tour is the rec room. So rec, as in this kind of rec, because it is short for, it's abbreviated for recreation. So recreation's like kind of free time, is the rec room. So now I'm going to go back to my plan and see what I said about the rec room. So I said that the arcade games were awesome. Oh, and that's where I've got my idiom. So next on the tour is the rec room. I'm going to say you should see it. So it's like I'm talking directly to the reader. I'm going to put you should see the arcade games. And then I'm going to put my idiom sentence. So I'm checking my plan. The TV is enormous. And then I'd done a semicolon and I'd said, so remember, not a capital letter after a semicolon. It must have cost an arm and a leg. I'm trying not to use too many exclamation marks or it gets a bit much. It's like I'm shouting at them. Okay then. After this then, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I feel about it. So we don't want to just keep putting facts. The TV is enormous, the arcade games are really cool, the beds are amazing, the food is great. We want to tell a little bit about how we're feeling. So I'm going to say, must have cost an arm and a leg. I've become an expert at playing pool. And I've become an expert at playing pool. And I'm really enjoying beating the other campers. Okay, so you might want to talk about the fact that maybe he's won some kind of tournament. You might want to talk about the different games he's been playing. Maybe you might want to talk a little bit here about the food, what he's been eating, what he's been cooking. You might want to talk about any of the other activities. You might want to make up the fact that they've been rock climbing or orienteering or abseiling, anything like that. So I want you to pause the video. You're going to write a bit more than I have and have a go at writing all about the kind of the different parts of the camp. So you've got the tent, you've got the food, you've got the recreation room, and you can make up some more activities as well if you would like to. Okay, remember it's informal. Off we go. Super. So hopefully you've written the bulk of that paragraph. I've just added a couple more sentences on the end of mine. So I've taken up rock climbing. Maybe I could join a club when I get home. So I've put kind of a rhetorical question in there. Talking to mum, it's like called direct address, and again it just makes it sound more conversational. So have a go, see if you can put a question into your letter. And then I've put, I can't believe this is an alternative to jail because I'm having the best time. Okay, so remember that this is meant to be, he had the choice between jail or Camp Green Lake and he chose Camp Green Lake, and he's trying to say to his mum, or we're trying to say to a family member, this is nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm having such a good time. It's so much better than jail. We made that right decision. Okay, we want our adults to think that we made the right call. Lovely. Pause that. Don't pause the video. Wrong one. Once you finish writing, pens down, read it through, check it for mistakes, make sure there's nothing that you could change to make it more informal, sorry. Make sure you've got full stops, make sure you've got capital letters. And let's go on to the next paragraph. This is the last big paragraph then, and this is the green paragraph. So this one is all about the people. It's about the children and it's about the counsellors. So this is going to be, again, a really positive paragraph, all about how everyone's been really friendly, everyone's really looking after him, making him feel like part of a group. And that's obviously something that we know that Stanley's never really had before. We know that when he was at school, he was bullied, he didn't have very many friends, whereas this is kind of he's trying to pretend that here he's made lots of friends. So here is my model, and it's the red paragraph. So I've put the people here are also super nice. The boys in my tent are really friendly and I've really hit it off with them. Right, hit it off with them. That is another idiom, okay? You haven't hit it off. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Okay, it doesn't mean that you've hit them. So this is an idiom that means you're getting on really, really well. You've clicked, if you like, which is also, I suppose, another idiom. So make sure we're putting those idioms in there. Okay, you might want to talk about something being a piece of cake. You might want to be saying you're having a whale of a time with the boys. Okay, lots of different idioms, and make sure you're using that page from that Wednesday lesson. The first day I arrived, comma, because that's a fronted adverbial phrase about when you arrived. Squid, capital letter, because it's a proper noun. That's his nickname. Showed me round, and we've become best friends. So that's his nickname is a relative clause. That's why we've got it in dashes. There's also Mom, whose real name is Mr. Pendanski, another relative clause. And he's great. He's helping me build my confidence. Okay, so leave a line, and I want you to write a couple of sentences. Aim for 3, and then if you do more, even better. All about the people. You can make up the people's names. You can use the ones from the books. I don't mind. Okay, last big paragraph. Don't forget your idioms. Don't forget informal language. If you can get some kind of question or relative clause in there, even better. Pause the video. Off we go. Right then, last little section, and then these letters are done. So this is just a couple of sentences, just kind of saying, bye, I love you, please write to me, I'm totally fine, I promise, and then just the goodbye, and then Stanley, or whatever you want to call yourself at the bottom. So this is the black paragraph on the waggle. So I've just put, I've got to go, I can hear Squid calling me for dinner. I think it's pizza. Please don't worry about me, I'm totally fine. Better than fine. Seriously, I can't believe this is an alternative to jail. Write soon and tell Dad I say hey. I hope you're both well and the sneaker project is going okay. Love you, Mum. Stanley. Okay, so just a couple of lines to finish this letter off, telling them how much you miss them, wanting to make sure that everyone's okay, and you say hello to Dad, and that's all we need to do. And then these letters are completed. Well done, you have completed your ride for this week. So as you can see, I'm in my big pink snuggly jumper. So make sure that you have checked your work for mistakes. We will be giving feedback, and I do not want to be writing. Please can you check your capital letters? Please check your full stop. So make sure, I don't have to write that on anybody's work. Make sure it's informal. Make sure you are happy with